We're in Costa Teguise this week, and the plan is to show you the 5 main beaches of the resort. And this first one we're on is the furthest from Arrecife.
And as you may notice, there's not much sand on it at the moment.
Well, 2 reasons for that. 1, we have ultra low tide at the moment, and 2, what happens is that in the wind the sand kind of gets
You can see it piled up against the walls, look,
Yep.
yeah.
Wall at one end, wall at the other end.
And this one's massive, like June, isn't it, at the end of there?
Yeah, and then every couple of weeks, every few weeks, they bring a tractor in and it pushes the sand all back along. So this one is nearest Sands Beach Hotel, which you can see.
So it's the furthest end of the resort.
Right there, yep. And what's the name of this? This is
HD Beach Resort.
On the left there. So this is the furthest one from Arrecife. As we said, we're going to walk along now to the next one, which is the largest and most popular beach in Costa Teguise. So as you can see, it's only a short walk around the corner, and we're at the beginning of Playa Las Calaras. Beautiful white sandy beach. We're going to walk around the corner.
It's a big bay, isn't it? I mean, this beach is sort of directly outside what was the Playa Salinas, which is now Paradisus.
Which is this hotel here.
And then you've got little sections between the breakwaters.
Yeah, so this first section tends to be used by people from the Playa Salinas. They can, as those people are doing now, can walk straight out onto the beach. Then there's another little bit further on, and then you've got the main beach, which goes all the way around the bay. As you said, it's a massive bay, isn't it? And brilliant for windsurfing. You can probably hear the wind on the mic now.
There's a few out, but there'll be lots more this afternoon.
We're back up on the promenade now, and this is the second of the 2 smaller beaches that form part of Playa Las Calaras. Cucharas means spoons, by the way, so this is Spoons Beach we're walking around to now. There are sunbeds on the second of those 2 smaller beaches. That chap in the green shirt was the man who takes the money for the sunbeds.
Sunbeds, yeah.
Back of his t-shirt says hamacas, or hamacas you would say in English.
And they're paid by card these days, aren't they?
Is that right?
Yeah.
So he carries a card machine around with him.
I'll just let her know when we get back.
So you can see those are the toilets, and this is a well-equipped beach. And the main part of Las Calaras, you've got lifeguards here, you've got nice toilets. There are showers where you can wash the salt off your skin or the sand off your feet.
Sunbeds you can rent. And you can see the zoned lane off there with the boys, can't you? Look for a safe swimming area to keep away from the water sports.
Yeah, so to the left of those boys, that's where all the windsurfers go in and out. And to the right of them, it's available for anyone to swim at. This is low tide, so as you can imagine, well, you can probably see the high tide line actually on the lens now.
Still a good expanse of sand though, isn't it?
It is a really good expanse of sand, and it's lovely sand to walk on or lie on as well. And then there are, right at the back of it, there are a lot of eateries and bars and restaurants and stuff like that. So probably the premier beach in this resort, I would say.
For sure, yeah.
You can see there's a ton of free car parking in Costa Teguise. There's this enormous car park.
That's like a middle one, isn't it?
And then there's a middle one, another one further on down.
With a Cucharas Centre.
And from any of them, it's maybe, I don't know, 150, 250 metres down to the ocean and the beaches. And this is the middle of the 5 beaches, Playa Jules. Tell us about this one, Jules.
Well, it's right in the centre of the resort, so it's that bit where it juts out in the middle. It's lovely and shallow. It's very good for snorkelling. I mean, honestly, there's so much fish in there, it's unbelievable for snorkelling. From end to end, it's 300 metres on a full tide, so if you want to swim up and down to get some exercise in, that's your distance. And then there's a lifeguard on this one, but no toilets.
Brilliant. And the big hotel behind us is the
Grande Teguise
Playa.
It's also probably the closest beach for the Galleon Playa Hotel, this one.
Okay.
And there's a few little bars and restaurants on the other side of it. Donna Lola and some pizzeria place, I can't remember the name.
So you've got a lifeguard, you've got showers on this one, but there aren't toilets from memory.
No, so number 4 next.
Beach number 4, okay. We've just arrived at the 4th beach, which is Playa Bastian. worth pointing out that has a very nice children's playground on it. So if you're here with the kids or the grandkids, they can play on the playground while you have a nice cool drink in Via Toledo, just across the way from it. So what's this beach got on it, Jules?
Well, you've got some beds that you can hire. There's toilets. This blue lane here running down the promenade is for wheelchair access to the beach. I'm not sure about access into the water. It's quite rocky, quite good for snorkelling.
Okay.
And it's got some nice little areas like, what would you call them? Little coves in the walls if you don't want a bed and you just want to chill out there.
Little Zokos, I call them.
That's it, Zokos.
And the sand here is slightly darker than the beaches on the other side. I think their sand comes from the Sahara, blown in from the Sahara, whereas this is the more natural
Looks
sort of
more like the
darker
local sand, doesn't it?
Lanzarote sand, yeah. These are the Zokos we were talking about, and if it is windy, as it quite often is in Costa Teguise, you can just shelter in one of those. You won't be sand whipped.
It's a shame because they used to have barbecues in there, didn't they? You could come and do a beach barbecue.
They did, and we've done it. We've come down here with our meat and charcoal and cooked a barbecue and thoroughly enjoyed it. But they took them away. They took them away, unfortunately. I haven't mentioned the weather, but that's because it's just sort of classic.
Look at that blue.
Lanzarote September weather. It's really hot, and there is a fairly gentle breeze, not enough to ruffle my hair anyway. Heading towards the fifth and final beach now. That's the King's House there, flying the Spanish flag.
So you just have to come up round off the promenade and back round the other side.
Yep. And there's a really nice cycle lane on here which takes you into Arrecife basically, and beyond if you want to. There it is, Playa El Ancla, which means the anchor.
It's the fifth and final beach.
The fifth and final beach of Costa Teguise. What are the hotels around here, Jules?
It's the Barcelo Lanzarote Active Hotel. So you've got the two
right
that
behind us
are now one. Yeah, and this is their little local beach. Not much sand on it at the moment, unfortunately, but it is quite a nice little bay, and again good for snorkelling. And there are steps down to it. You can just see the white concrete there that steps take you down.
No other facilities here though, but you can actually see where the sand is. That light bit in the water is where the sand from the beach has gone in. And we're just on the back of the Pinot tides, which are very, very high tides here, so that might be the reason some of the sand is missing. Next day we have a blow, it'll probably be put back up onto the beach. So that's it from Costa Teguise. I hope you've enjoyed our little tour of the 5 beaches of the resort. Have a great weekend.
Take care, bye.
Bye.